Hi dear folks, today's Leetcode challenge is triangle problem. An input as a triangle array like shown in this picture. Here input is in the form of a list of integer where each element of a list is again a list representing elements in a single row of a triangle. For example, last element of input is a list with elements 4, 1, 8 and 3. These elements represents the last row of the triangle array. There are certain conditions which are given here. First, you can traverse to just below row, and second is you can move to only index I and I plus 1 on below row, considering you are already on index I. For example, from triangle second last row and first element, its value is 6. Pointer can move to only last row, first element which is 4, or adjacent, that is second element which is having value 1. So that's it for the conditions part. Then output would be an integer representing minimum path sum from top to bottom. Example is 11, which is being formed after summing 2, 3, 5 and 1 from each row. So this problem we can solve it using bottom-up approach and memorization technique. Time complexity of this approach is On. Here n represents number of elements in triangle array, and space complexity is Om. Here m represents number of elements in last row of triangle array. A quick glimpse of the code is, let's move to the technique to solve this problem. Here we have created a buffer at line number 7, that is an array of size m, where m represents number of elements in last row of triangle array. Second, as we are using bottom-up approach, so if the list element is last row of triangle, then we are just adding it in the buffer. This same logic is written from line number 12. For example, after first iteration, our buffered array will have values 4, 1, 8, 3. We are just adding these in the buffered array. Then in the else condition, we will populate the values of temp1 and temp2 from buffered array. On second iteration, I will have value n minus 2 and internal list will be 6, 5 and 7. Here we'll update buffer array by summing up element value at current index with minimum value taken from adjacent indexes from buffered array. I'll repeat, here we will update buffered array by summing up element value present at current index with minimum value taken from adjacent indexes from buffered array. For example, let's take value of 6 that is present at index 0 and its adjacent values, that is values present at index 0 and 1 in buffered array is 4 and 1 respectively, and minimum of 4 and 1 is 1, and sum of 1 and 6 is 7. At last we'll populate array at 0th index with 7. Similarly, for 5, values of adjacent indexes in buffered array will be 1 and 8. Minimum of these will be 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. So buffered array at 1th value is 6. And at last for 7, which is present at index 2 and values of adjacent indexes in buffered array are 8 and 3. Minimum of 8 and 3 is 3 and 3 plus 7 is 10. So array at second is 10. Similarly, we'll keep updating values of buffered array elements, and at last array of 0 will give output. At code level, for second iteration, as value of I is not equals to n minus 1, it will be n minus 2. So the code flow will go to else condition. We'll start iterating over buffered array. We will populate values of temp1 and temp2, which are representing two adjacent values from current index. Initially, at starting of else condition, value of temp1 is 0th element of the buffered array, which is 4, and then in for loop j will start iterating from 1 to m, which in this case is 1 to 4. Here temp2 value will be jth element of array, that is jth means 1, so first element of buffered array, and the value will be 1. So we'll then calculate minimum of temp1 and temp2, which will come out to be 1. We'll then add the current value into min value and store this value at j minus 1th position in the array. So one more point to add in this, when we are going from down to top, we could see number of elements are getting reduced by ones, hence we are also decrementing the value of m here, and at last output will be buffered array value at index 0. That's it for the coding part, and this code is also accepted by Leetcode. Thanks for watching this video.